The Content Creation Challenge. Creating content for platforms you don't know well is stressful, whether you're running a business, sharing a passion, or building your personal brand. What works? How to write texts? What kind of images to use? You could spend hours researching best practices, or you could ask ChatGPT to create the content based on its own advice. The latter sounds better, doesn't it? Let's learn how. The unfamiliar platform problem. Every platform has its own rules. What works on a personal blog falls flat on LinkedIn, and what gets engagement on Facebook reads wrong in a professional post. The good news: you don't need to learn every platform. You just need to know how to ask ChatGPT. Let's cover each one throughout this lesson. Your instinct might be to Google best practices for each platform, read blogs, and study other people's content. But this approach has one problem. What's the biggest problem with researching platform best practices on your own? After hours of research, you end up overwhelmed with generic advice that doesn't help. You won't find enough information about your specific topic. Most platform advice is written for big brands, not individuals. The solution to this problem is that ChatGPT can both tell you what works and create content based on that advice in the same conversation. Platform 1, Instagram blog post. Imagine you've started a personal blog on Instagram about learning to cook from scratch. You want to write your first post, but have no idea how to structure it or what tone to use. Let's start by asking ChatGPT what works, then create based on that advice. See what just happened? Instead of researching Instagram best practices yourself, ChatGPT explained them in 30 seconds. Better than surfing the web for hours, right? Now that ChatGPT explained what works on Instagram, let's ask it to create a first draft of your Instagram post. Looking at this blog post opening, what would make it feel even more personal and less polished? Ask ChatGPT to refine it with that specific change. Edit it yourself to make it sound rougher. Start over with a completely new prompt. Refining through conversation. Content creation isn't one and done. It's a conversation where you refine until it's right. Let's improve the caption. See the difference? Now it's more honest, more personal, more like a real person talking. Same content, refined through conversation. This iterative process works for any content type. The three-step pattern. Conversational content development works in 3 steps. Ask what works. What makes platform posts effective? Ask to create. Based on that, create content for purpose. Refine through conversation. Make it more specific change. ChatGPT both advises and executes. You guide through conversation. Adding visuals. Instagram posts need images. You could design one yourself. Or ask ChatGPT what kind of image would work best. ChatGPT just told you what image to create and why it works for Instagram. Now ask it to generate the image in image generation mode. Perfect. Post refined, header image created. All through the same conversation. The same process can work with a different platform. Let's try to see what changes. Platform 2, LinkedIn. Now imagine you've just moved from corporate HR into independent coaching and want to announce it on LinkedIn. Use the same approach. Ask what works first, then create. Based on the suggestion, let's ask ChatGPT to create a draft. See how the tone shifted completely? The blog was warm and personal. LinkedIn is direct, professional, but still human. A different structure entirely. You didn't have to think about that. The advice step handled it. Now, imagine you already have a post like this but want to make it sharper. You don't need to start over, just refine through conversation. Well done! With ChatGPT, you can write any post for any platform using these 3 steps. Ask what works, create based on that advice. Refine through conversation. Beyond Instagram and LinkedIn. This conversational approach works for any content format you're unfamiliar with. Facebook posts, ask what works on Facebook, have ChatGPT create based on its advice. Longer, story-driven content with lifestyle images. WhatsApp messages, ask ChatGPT about effective WhatsApp messaging, then have it create casual, direct, personal tone. Email newsletters or YouTube descriptions, same pattern, ask what works, create based on that advice, and refine through conversation. Excellent work! You've learned to use ChatGPT as a strategic partner that both advises and executes. The main piece of knowledge that you gained, instead of becoming an expert in every format, you let ChatGPT apply its expertise to your specific needs. Key takeaways. Ask ChatGPT what works before asking it to create. Advice, execution. Refine through conversation rather than starting over with new prompts. This pattern works for any unfamiliar platform or content format. ChatGPT can create both copy and visuals based on strategic recommendations. What's next? You know how to create content for any platform. Now for the most creative lesson yet. Next, you'll learn how to take a raw idea and bring it fully to life with ChatGPT. Keep up the good work.